All right, so this was me. Skinny arms, no definition, no shape. Honestly, I actually fucking hated it. And if you're South Asian, you probably already know this feeling. We get roses for our skinny arms. Everyone thinks that it's just a part of our genetics. You know what I'm saying? Our Indian genetics are fucking shit. Bro, for years, I believed that too. And I genuinely thought my arms were stuck like practically forever. But then one moment changed everything. This one thing that made me realize and practically changed my entire thinking of how I train my arms. And after I fixed that one mistake, my arms started finally growing like this. But wait, here's the craziest part, yeah? It had nothing to do with my genetics, had nothing to do with supplements, and also had nothing to do with like these fancy workouts. Let's face it, it's not actually your workouts. It was just one simple shift that all South Asian men need to get in their head, screwed into your head. Because once you make this shift, yeah, your arms are gonna be growing, my guy, growing to a whole different level, you get me? All right, that being said, let me just break this down to you. Okay, so firstly, yeah, I used to be that guy that used to train arms multiple times a week. You know what I'm saying? Like I was doing high intensity, I was doing between 8 to 10 reps. I was doing about 4 or 5 exercises for my arms. And after a few months, I was thinking, you know what, like my arms are not still growing. Like, don't get me wrong, I might have made like a little bit of change, right? But my biceps, but my whole arm just wasn't looking thick. And my arms wasn't just growing at the pace that I actually want it to. You get me? Again, I used to be one of them people as well, where I used to kind of just blame my genetics. And obviously that clearly was not the case, you get me? Because we got some fucking sick genetics, all right? Don't let anyone tell you that you can't grow good arms, or even just a good physique anyway. But anyway, as I was saying, my biceps were growing, but my arms weren't looking aesthetic. It wasn't looking pleasing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it had a little bit of shape to it, but it wasn't that girthy growth as we like it, you get me? That sounds a bit fucked up. Listen, if you got fucked up thinking, get that shit out of your mind, all right? I'm not sure about you guys, but I've always thought, like, especially when I watch movies, if they show like a little gym scene or a little exercise scene, someone's always doing like an arm exercise or a bicep curl, they get me? So I thought, you know what, doing bicep curls was the only way to actually get bigger arms and bigger looking arms anyway. But in fact, I was actually wrong, bro. And we've all been wrong, not just me, all of us. We all think growing bigger biceps means we're gonna have bigger looking arms. So this entire time I was focusing on my biceps to get me thinking, you know, I'm gonna grow bigger biceps and my arms are gonna look fucking juicy, aesthetically pleasing. But I was wrong, man. So I was thinking like, it wasn't my biceps, like I'm training biceps, but my biceps, they're not making big of a difference on my arms. But don't get me wrong, your biceps still matter. Me being me, obviously I did more research. I started to start YouTubing this shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even chat GPT this shit time ago, a long time ago. So bam, I've come across it now, and now, this is the moment that I've been waiting for, yeah? In fact, we all needed to start focusing on our triceps and not our biceps. And you're probably thinking, whoa, is that it? We're about to just fucking start training our triceps more than our biceps. That's what I thought as well. So bang, I started obviously doing more triceps. You know what I'm saying? Tricep rope pull downs. I started doing the triangular bar or the V-bar push downs for triceps. So a few months down the line, I started to prioritize more of my triceps than my biceps. And to be fair, it did make a difference. But again, I was just doing like 2-3 exercises for my triceps, right? For my short head triceps, as you would think. And a few months down the line, actually gone by, and I was thinking, all right, my arms are looking bigger, but they're still not looking chunky, bro. Like, you know, like when you like see like a leg piece of chicken, bro. Like a leg piece of chicken, you just know that shit's looking juicy, yeah? That's what I wanted my arms to look like. You get me? Like a fucking leg piece of chicken, just that meat. But yet again, that meat wasn't meating, bro. If that's even a word, that meat wasn't meating, you get me? My arms were looking good, decent, not too bad. Better than before, of course, but it lost that thickness. I didn't ever gain that thickness. I wanted that big, batty thickness, you get me? Yeah. Anyway, so in fact, bigger triceps are actually gonna make your arms look 10 times bigger. But again, that was a little twist what I was doing wrong again, right? I thought, all right, cool, I'm hitting triceps now. Surely my arms are gonna look bigger, right? Yet, I was wrong again. So in fact, what I didn't tell you guys, or what I didn't know myself, was there's actually 3 heads to your triceps. So you got the short head, then you got the mid head, and then you got the long head right at the back. And the truth is, I actually wasn't hitting the long head the entire time. And the long head at the back of your tricep, which is like the meatiest part of your tricep, that's actually gonna be like 70 to 80% of your entire arm size. So your entire arm is basically the back head of the tricep. That long head is gonna maximize the whole arm. And I was like, oh shit. So this is what I had to do the entire time. So me wasting about 7 to 8 months focusing on biceps, focusing on triceps, but not also hitting the back head of the tricep, I just lost out. But it's cool though, you know what I'm saying? Because now we're back on track now. Now it's been another like 6-7 months now, and yo, my arms are looking big like this. So bam, I started hitting triceps multiple times a week, not only focusing on the short head of the tricep, but the long head on the tricep. So this is the main thing, the moral of this video. If you want bigger looking, chunky, aesthetic arms, you want them chicken leg arms looking juicy, yeah? We need to start hitting the long head on your triceps. And once I started doing that one shift, swear to God, my arms started looking way more bigger. Especially from like a side profile view. Like if you take a picture of yourself, right, from a side profile, you'll see like the back of the arm, that's the most chunkiest part. And that's the part that's gonna make your arms look sick in t-shirts. Like, especially when you're wearing like a nice t-shirt, yeah, your arms are popping, you know what I'm saying? Like it's nicely fitted. That's what you want, you know what I'm saying? The girl's gonna get wet. The girl's gonna be fucking drooling over you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So that being said, you're probably thinking, okay, cool, I need to start training the back head of your triceps. No, sorry, the long head of the triceps. So this is what you guys need to be doing now. I'm gonna show you 3 exercises that you can do right now, today, in the gym, where you start hitting the long head of your triceps. That way you can actually start looking fucking sick in t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? Have that aesthetic, lean physique with your triceps and your biceps. It's all popping in that anyway. So that being said, these are the 3 exercises you guys need to do today. Let's get straight into that. And I'm gonna lie, yo, these 3 exercises, I'd say made practically my entire arms, bro. My entire arms are looking chunky, looking juicy. Yeah, that's because of these 3 exercises. So make sure you lot implement this. Okay, so the first exercise, make sure you start hitting tricep overhead extensions. You wanna keep this simple as well. Aim for 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps, but make sure you're doing high intensity. And I don't mean volume. I'm not saying blast it out. I'm talking about the weight needs to be heavy, your form needs to be on point, and make sure your tempo is about 2 to 3 seconds. Really control the weight and really focus on your triceps, especially the long head. Don't just blast it out. One thing I've really realized in the gym, most people, they just blast their sets out. You don't want to be blasting your sets out. You want to take control of the weight. So make sure you take control of the weight and make sure you hit this exercise. Right, the second exercise you guys start doing, dumbbell bench overhead extensions. So again with this, just get 2 dumbbells, you're sitting on the bench, you're laying down, right? Straight overhead extensions. Again, go for 3 sets, between 8 to 10 reps. Again, high intensity. Don't go too crazy on the weights either. Grab a good amount of weight where you can keep it controlled and you can focus on your triceps. Again, don't forget, control is key. You don't want to just blast them out. Control. And the third most important one is close grip bench press. So when you get into the bench, close grip, 3 sets, I'd say go for 10 to 12 reps. Again, high intensity, make sure you're going towards failure. But you're not banging them out, keep it controlled. Same shit as I was saying earlier, man. But yeah, you guys start doing these 3 exercises for your long head on your triceps. Your arms are gonna look big and they're gonna look aesthetic. And that's exactly what you want, especially for all you single guys, you know what I'm saying? I know you guys are trying to get them girls and that, you get me. Also, when it comes to how many times you should be hitting your triceps, I'd recommend go between 2 to 3 times a week, but make sure you're getting rest in between the days, so you don't just go back to back to back days, all right? So do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or even do like Monday, Thursday, and then Saturday or something like that. But I recommend start off with twice a week, and then if you're slightly advanced, go 3 times a week. Again, you don't have to do crazy amount of sets, all right? 2 to 3 sets per exercise, high intensity, controlled, and that's all you need. That being said, go start these exercises because you man deserve some big arms, you get me? And I'll see you guys in the next video.